POTUS Patrol, like Paw Patrol. That's the focus of tonight's angle. Well, Donald Trump hit the streets to see for himself what law enforcement is up against in his temporary hometown, our nation's capital. So he wanted to witness and observe how things are going 2 weeks after he ordered federal law enforcement to help secure the city.
Hello. It's a healthy, attractive-looking group of people. It's good. Well, I just want to thank everybody very much for being here. I wanted to do this. We've had some incredible results. The results have come out, and it's like a different place. It's like a different city. It's the capital. It's going to be the best in the world. We're not playing games. We're going to make it safe. And we're going to then go on to other places. But we're going to stay here for a while. We want to make this absolutely perfect. It's our capital.
Well, the drop in crime is breathtaking. Since federal action began, Washington has gone 7 straight days without a single homicide, not one murder. And carjackings, which have been a huge problem here, they've plummeted 83%. Meanwhile, robberies down 46%, car thefts have declined 21%, and violent crime overall, that's down 22%, not bad at all. Now, if anything should be a cause for partisan celebration, shouldn't this news be it? We have lives probably saved, streets calmer, residents and tourists more at ease. Maybe people are even happier. That would be nice. Single moms who worry about their kids walking home from school? Yeah.
I think extra security is always a good thing, especially, in the metro.
I mean, if you got crime, you need police, you need extra protection out there. I don't have a problem with it.
Democrats have had decades to bring safety to our urban areas, and with few exceptions, they have failed miserably. Especially, let's face it, in the post-George Floyd era, when they joined BLM, of course, at the time, to blame police instead of blaming and going after repeat violent offenders. But now they're being exposed because Trump is showing that a more prominent police presence works to deter crime. But of course, that just makes Democrats madder. Just as they hounded Supreme Court justices, just as they harassed conservatives in restaurants and on the streets, they're shrieking at Trump officials and law enforcement just for social media clicks.
America, you have to stand up! We are dying! America is dying! We can't sit around anymore! These demons are cowards!
Nazi scum! Off our streets!
Get the out of my city!
Their parents must be so proud. Think of the college degrees among that crowd, yeah. And rather than finding ways to cooperate with the administration, Democrats are posturing.
Going to a Black woman mayor's city first, and now we are in yet another Black woman-led city and taking over. And to me, it goes again to the level of racism and hate that is constantly spewed out of this administration.
I don't think the National Guard should be used for law enforcement.
Well, regular people without partisan axes to grind see things differently.
I think it's a good thing because it actually reinforces the fact that America is secure, safe, stable. As a moderate, as a centrist, I think something needs to be done. I have 3 kids. I'm about to start teaching next week. I want it to be safe.
Look, Trump is more than anything else, he's a pragmatist. He sees a problem and he wants to find a solution, and he tweaks policies when necessary. Then he really rolls up his sleeves to try to fix it. It's really hands-on governance. For Democrats, though, it's hands-on neglect. Most of us want a president who will be there to back the cops. But the easier, less risky thing to do is just hide in the Oval Office and take meetings. Well, Biden rarely even did that. He had, obviously, zero clue about what was happening outside of the gates of the White House, but not Trump. We'll never see another like him.
So we're going to have some fun. We'll eat, and I'll eat with you, and we're going to have a little fun. We're going to celebrate, but then we're going to get back to work, and we're going to take care of these criminals. We're going to put them where they have to be. We're going to You're going to say, don't play around with us. Don't play around with us. So let's go have something to eat. You're going to like the hamburgers? Would you rather have hamburgers from the White House or pizzas from a good place, huh? I think they want the hamburgers. Have a good time, everybody.
The reaction of the National Guard and the law enforcement was just awesome. Look, contrast, though, what Democrats are doing, because they're fine with jeering law enforcement and defending criminals. It's like their favorite pastime. We all saw that what they tried to do to J.D. Vance and Hegseth at Union Station right behind us. They were also handing out hamburgers to the National Guard and soldiers. And now it's apparently a war crime to just bond with law enforcement. But Trump's A-team didn't flinch.
It's kind of bizarre that we have a bunch of old, primarily white people who are out there protesting the policies that keep people safe when they've never felt danger in their entire lives.
Yeah, he made the point that rich people rarely feel the danger that their policies cause. But he knows that they are committing political suicide.
A couple of years ago, when I brought my kids here, they were being screamed at by violent vagrants, and it was scaring the hell out of my kids. We've traded now some violent, crazy people who are screaming at kids with a few crazy liberals who are screaming at the vice president, but I think that's a very worthwhile trade to make because we want our people to be able to enjoy our beautiful cities.
Now, that line should be etched into the mind of every American. Democrats would rather side with criminals than with Donald Trump and law enforcement. But it's not just on the crime issue. Trump has had them all tied up in knots on immigration, the border, transgenderism, even peace in Ukraine. You have to ask yourself, what kind of movement is this underpinning the Democrat Party? Well, we learned in the New York Times yesterday that Democrats continue to bleed support at a staggering rate. For the first time since 2018, more new voters nationwide chose to be Republicans than Democrats last year. Democrats lost about 2.1 million registered voters. That was between 2020 and 2024. In 30 states, Republicans gained 2.4 million. So that four-year swing toward the Republicans adds up to 4.5 million voters. That is a deep political hole. Could take years for the Democrats to climb out of. So what is their answer to this? More radicalism? I mean, at this point, this is just a sickness for them. Too bad there's not an mRNA vaccine for that. This is why Trump's so transformational, isn't it? He's not just a master of policy. He's not just really good at PR and mixing it up with people. He is a master of political chess. He's always checkmating them. Remember the campaign moments?
I love McDonald's. I love jobs. I like to see good jobs. I hope you enjoyed this garbage truck. Thank you very much.
Now, for doing this, he was mocked by the elites, but the Americans loved it and they got it. He respects real work. Work is dignity. And now as president, again, he's channeling that same instinct to restore law and order in the nation's capital. That is a very good thing, and that's the angle.
There's a new episode of Cops airing tonight, and President Trump makes an appearance. Well, not exactly. 47 saw Vance, Hegseth, and Miller out with the men and women in uniform yesterday and wanted to get in on the action. So he swung by a base and gave a pep talk to the boys in blue. We kind of wish he had went on patrol and made some arrests. Maybe next term. He didn't bring a billy club. He brought pizza. Pies from Wise Guys as high as an elephant's eye.
We're going to have some fun. We'll eat, and I'll eat with you, and we're going to have a little fun. We're going to celebrate, but then we're going to get back to work, and we're going to take care of these criminals.
Just in case the guys wanted red meat, he brought burgers. And they're not the only ones eating good. Trump says if you live in D.C., it's family night.
I've never received so many phone calls thanking me for what we've done in Washington, D.C., from people that haven't gone to a restaurant literally in 4 years. They said we couldn't stand it, sir. And now I take my wife and my kids to dinner. One of them said he's gone out 4 nights in a row, and he hadn't gone out for 4 years.
It's restaurant week in D.C., and business is going gangbusters because Trump's been busting up gangs. If it's date night, even better. After a romantic dinner, take her on a stroll through Trump's big, beautiful park and roll around in the grass.
One of the things we're going to be redoing is your parks. I'm very good at grass because I have a lot of golf courses all over the place. I know more about grass than any human being, I think, anywhere in the world. And we're going to be regrassing all of your parks, all brand new sprinkler systems, the best that you can buy, just like the Augusta. No, it'll look like Augusta. It'll look like, more importantly, Trump National Golf Club. That's even better.
It's not just new sod. The entire city's getting a facelift.
You do the job on safety, and I'll get this place fixed up physically, and we're going to be so proud of it at the end of 6 months, but let's say at the end of a year, this place will be maxed out in terms of beauty. You'll have all new surfaces. You'll have all new medians. Everything's going to look beautiful. A lot of your signs are going to be taken down. They've been up for 40 years. They look like hell.
If the cops can lock them all up, Trump's going to Mar-a-Lago the Capitol. Yellow brick roads, new flagpoles. The YMCA plays when you wait for the light to change. On the campaign trail, Trump hopped in the garbage truck and took out the trash. Now he's doing a different kind of cleaning. The media is having trouble keeping up. They're cranky that there could be congestion.
Now, tonight, the president deciding he's going to go out and be front and center in this crackdown. What do you make of it?
The Trump show is exhausting. This soon to be ride along. Chris, you have covered the White House. You know when the president moves, what happens? Streets get closed.
People were getting carjacked, and this guy's worried about traffic. Johnny went to D.C. this week. He didn't get his butt kicked like big balls, but trust me, people wanted to. So what do the people in the district think? Here's Johnny.
Is D.C. a safe place?
No. Not safe for our communities.
You'll be all right.
All my friends in D.C. don't ever drive because they know they might get car mugged or something.
I got jumped at the corner store right there by the gas station Greenway. Why the is this not locked up? She even pepper sprayed her own daughter. And she's an 8-year-old. What you mean?
We're in a nice part of town, so let's
level with each other here. We're in Georgetown.
Yeah.
I'm suggesting that you leave before I have to get snooty.
Is it okay to walk around Washington, D.C. all by yourself at night?
No, nobody should do that.
I would say for a guy.
They got robbed a few months ago. I know people who have been shot.
I feel like I can defend myself.
You got your guns.
Not in D.C., I wish.
Yeah! Does D.C. have a gang problem?
D.C. is one of the only places in America where you will not find gangs.
Do you know which D.C. gang I'm afraid of?
Which gang?
The Democrats.
We will win! We will win!
We're here at Union Station where President Trump has mobilized the National Guard. This used to be homeless city. Homeless people sprawled out all over the place. And now, nobody's here, except for a bunch of Trump protesters. President Trump mobilized the National Guard. He says he wants to make D.C. safe and beautiful again. Was that a good idea?
It's not the solution.
Well, if there's more police on the ground, could that possibly have prevented you from getting robbed?
No, you make a good point.
Definitely cleared up the riffraff out here.
That's not how you solve crime. You prosecute criminals, you have trials, and
first you got to get the criminals. He says he wants to take all the graffiti out and make it beautiful.
What, are you going to get Shakespeare? We're going to get Shakespeare to paint the whole world or something?
I think you're thinking of Picasso.
Picasso, yeah, that's who you might got to get.
National Guard don't got nothing to do with Trump. They just obeying his rules.
You're right. You're right.
So,
okay. I agree with my husband.
Can we just give it up again for my husband?
Have the streets been safer?
Cleaner. Doesn't feel ratchet.
They feel no different.
People is walking on eggshells. Like you walk across the street right now, you might get locked up for jaywalking.
I jaywalk all the time.
Oh yeah, you're going to jail. Oh yeah.
She's going to jail.
The Democrats say crime is down. Does it feel like crime is down?
Well, we're learning that they fudged the numbers.
It feels like nothing has changed.
No, crime just got more secretive.
What is the root causes to crime in D.C.?
The poverty.
Not enough jobs.
Black on black crime.
You don't have like the pickpocketing.
You have the carjacking though.
Yeah, to my knowledge.
But crime's not a problem.
That was off the record.
Who do you trust to keep you safe? President Trump or the Democrats?
We with Donald Trump.
Gonna have to be Trump.
We all need to work together.
Isn't it nice that Donald Trump's protecting you whether you like it or not?
I don't think it's necessary.
The Democratic Party.
Who in particular?
Who's doing well right now?
Nobody.
Gavin's on a roll.
How do you like his tweets?
It's funny.
Don't you wish he was actually writing them, though?
Does Trump write his... Actually, we do know Trump writes his tweets.
Boom!
And then you start getting phone calls. Did you really say this? I say, what's wrong with that?
What do you want to tell Jesse Waters on Fox News?
Keep the foxes alive.
Hey, Jesse.
We got the backflip for you.
Hey.
Do you know who I am?
Who are
Nah,
you?
ain't tell me your name.
Here's Johnny.
Here's Johnny.
Hey,
yeah!
So D.C. let crime go up, but Democrats are so anti-Trump that they don't want it to go down. Jazzy Jellyfish says safety's racist.
Now we are in yet another Black woman-led city and taking over. And to me, it goes again to the level of racism and hate that is constantly spewed out of this administration. But listen, I mean, if it walk like a duck, quack like a duck, then I guess it is a duck. So like racism is racism, and you are specifically targeting these Black-led areas.
CNN says, who cares if your family gets shouted down by homeless druggies before you catch a train?
I've taken my kids to the Amtrak Union Station, and we have been yelled at by vagrants. We have been yelled at by homeless people who are on drugs. We have actually witnessed people do drugs at the Union Station.
I've been yelled at in a lot of train stations across this country that are, well, nor should I. But my point is, it doesn't just happen in places like D.C. So is the National Guard going to go to every 50 states?
Is Trump going to send the National Guard to all 50 states? More on that later. CNN's even upset that bad hombres accused of molesting teens are being rounded up.
And new video shows federal officers detaining a man on the National Mall. We want to warn our viewers, some might find this video disturbing. Watch this.
Por favor, yo no debo nada, papi. Yo no debo nada. Yo no debo nada.
He was saying in Spanish he was here to work and not to be arrested. A person with the same name who faced similar charges had them dropped without prosecution.
Yeah, the charges only got dropped because the victim's mom got scared and went MIA. But what's disturbing about that video? Has he never seen live PD? MSNBC, I mean, Miss Now, is afraid bad guys might get tased.
Last week, there was a call in which it was announced that all FBI agents would be equipped with tasers. Now, that sounds like no big deal because a lot of police officers have tasers, but that is not what FBI agents do. They don't patrol the streets, right? And so that sent a message to a lot of my sources, wow, things are really changing here and not for the good.
Let me get this straight. FBI agents can kick down the doors of Mar-a-Lago, infiltrate kidnapping rings, and hunt down terrorists, but if you hand them a taser, they don't know what to do? Trump called in the Guard to post up in the touristy areas, a good show of force. And it frees up D.C. police to sweep bad neighborhoods. And crime went poof.
But with the Guard on the ground, crime is on the decline. For the first time in a long time, D.C. has gone 7 days without a homicide. And that's not all. Carjackings are down 83%. Robberies are down 46%. Car thefts down 21%. And overall violent crime is down 22%.
In the middle of August, no murder. That's historic. And U.S. Attorney Judge Janine's the busiest woman in the Capitol. She's throwing the book in every direction.
We are here in D.C., where the president's surge to make D.C. safe and beautiful again is working. Last night, we had 53 arrests. 10 guns were taken off the street, making it a total of 630 arrests and 86 guns taken off the street. So what does that mean? That means those guns cannot be used to shoot or kill anyone. So as the president continues to make D.C. safe, we will continue to prosecute the cases, support the blue, and get those guns.
Democrats keep saying, well, crime was already going down. You don't need the Guard. Well, homicides in D.C. hit a 30-year high just 2 years ago. So, okay, it's down from a 30-year high in an election year. But did crime actually go down? Or did Washington fudge the numbers?
We'll go to a scene where somebody's shot. There's shell casings. They've got bullet holes in them, but maybe they're not cooperative with the police, which is not uncommon in some parts of the city. And the captain will tell them, hey, look, let's just take an injured person to the hospital instead of a shooting report, which that makes it an incident, not a crime. It's not followed up on. It never gets reported to the FBI, and it never goes down as a shooting stat.
The city transitioned attempted homicide to jaywalking, and they caught one guy red-handed at a computer.
Back in May, we found out that a police commander of a police district was stripped of his police authority and suspended. The allegation was that he was going into police databases and changing felonies to misdemeanors to keep crime stats trending lower in his district.
So they were telling us the crime was down, but it's not what it seemed like when you looked around. I mean, even politicians were getting carjacked and sucker punched and robbed. Every night there was a shooting on the local news. How much you want to bet other cities were underreporting crime for better headlines and political props? All of this is about to stop. What Trump's doing in D.C. is a blueprint for every other city in the country. Have the Guard give the locals some breathing room so they can target the trigger pullers.
We're not playing games. We're going to make it safe. And we're going to then go on to other places. But we're going to stay here for a while. We want to make this absolutely perfect.
And if you're not from a big city, and you want to bring your kids to the Air and Space Museum and want to show your wife the cherry blossoms, you know she likes those cherry blossom shots on Instagram, well, now you can visit.
Look, I grew up in a small town. I love our beautiful countryside and our rural areas, but I love our big cities too. And I want you to be able to go shopping or go and get a nice meal with your family without the fear that you're going to get mugged or even worse, because you had the audacity to take your family out for a day in one of our great American cities. We don't have to live like this.
All right, now we turn our attention to the Washington, D.C. swamp, where President Trump's crime crackdown, it is yielding massive results. For the first time that anyone can seem to remember, Washington, D.C., one of the most violent places in America. It has the highest homicide rate in the world, just went an entire week, 7 full days, not one homicide, not one murder. Now, for reference, prior to President Trump, these were headlines coming out of the Washington swamp. 10 killings in 5 days in D.C., leave an international trail of grief. And now 0 murders in 7 days, not a single one. And it's not just homicide. Carjackings, they're down 83%. Robberies are down 46%. Car theft down a whopping 21%. Overall crime down 22%. Violent crime. And today, President Trump visited the notorious Anacostia neighborhood in Washington, D.C., which has been plagued by horrific levels of violent crime for decades. U.S. presidents, they don't ever visit this neighborhood. Just a short drive from the White House. President Trump, he's not like other presidents. His commitment to public safety, unlike anything we've ever seen. And just a few hours ago, President Trump went to this neighborhood, thanked the police, thanked the National Guard, thanked our service members, men and women, for bringing peace back to our nation's capital. He was hanging out, giving out burgers and pizzas along the way. And according to Trump, there is so much more to come. Take a look.
We've had some incredible results. The results have come out, and it's like a different place. It's like a different city. It's the capital. It's going to be the best in the world. We're going to do what you're doing with law enforcement, and very importantly also, we're going to physically do it. We're going back to Congress for some money, and we're going to redo a lot of the pavement, a lot of the medians, a lot of the graffiti's all coming off real fast. It's going to come down real fast. And we're going to be not so much building, it's cleaning and fixing and redoing and putting brand new surfaces down on your roads and streets. And when people come in from the airport all the way to the Capitol or the White House or any place else they're going to say, boy, this place is spotless. You do the job on safety and I'll get this place fixed up physically. And we're going to be so proud of it at the end of 6 months, but let's say at the end of a year, this place will be maxed out in terms of beauty.
Now, I'll end on a question tonight to Washington's woke lunatics. Was the discomfort of having to walk past National Guardsmen, was it worth the lives that were saved this week alone in our nation's capital? Or is hating Donald Trump more important to you?
Thank you, and I'm so glad you were able to step over Brit Hume. He loves to nap in the hallway. Happy Thursday, everyone. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all, my friend Juan Williams. So Donald Trump did a ride-along earlier tonight with police and troops in Washington, D.C. Not to be outdone, Biden did the same thing in Delaware. In a huge victory for Trump, a court threw out a $500 million fraud judgment against him. New York AG Letitia James is pretty pissed off, saying she's not used to getting her suits thrown out, just let out. Because she's fat. 70,000 Cambodian monks have nominated Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. But the White House asserts this has nothing to do with the newly opened Trump monastery in Cambodia. Democrat Senator Amy Klobuchar says clips of her saying Sydney Sweeney has perfect breasts are fake videos, but admitted she did say Governor Tim Walz rocks a solid B cup. Now, there is also a deep fake of Amy saying Democrats were too fat to wear jeans and too ugly to go outside. But experts say it was easy to spot that fake because rarely does a Democrat tell the truth. Yeah, they're fat. They're fat and they're ugly. Even their cute ones are ugly. You notice that? Yeah. Kristi Noem says the border wall will be painted black, making it so hot it's harder to climb. They're also going to add cameras. So now you'll be filmed while you climb something big and black. No wonder, I haven't even got to the punchline. No wonder Kim Kardashian just showed up.
No, Greg, you had a bunch of old ladies like getting mountain boots on.
A serial pedophile in Louisiana has agreed to be castrated as part of a plea deal. He was given a choice of having it done surgically or by marrying Meghan Markle. And finally, the very single Kathy Griffin said that she's never sent a vagina picture to anyone ever. Yeah, she doesn't want potential mates wondering who sent me this picture of the LA fires. At least I didn't say La Brea tar pits.
Live by there.
That was an old field trip. Okay. So how are Democrats fighting Trump's deportations? Forget Cinco de Mayo. Here's Stinko de Mayo. Oh, man. So they gave us a fiesta after a 4-year siesta. This happened in Boston, where Dems trotted out a mariachi band to protest ICE. It went on for 8 grueling minutes before the band had to return to their day jobs, trimming Rashida Tlaib's face. Let's watch some more.
Va el pastor con su rebaño al despuntar la mañana. El flautín.
Wow. Now, isn't it slightly racist having a mariachi band represent immigrants? That's like introducing Boston Mayor Wu with dancing chopsticks and a man dressed as a fortune cookie. Here's what she said.
Silence in the face of oppression is not an option. Stop attacking our cities to hide your administration's failures. Unlike the Trump administration, Boston follows the law. And Boston will not back down from who we are and what we stand for. Boston will never back down from being a beacon of freedom and a home for everyone.
Yeah, lady, have you ever been to an Irish bar in Boston? No, they're not exactly the model UN. I think it's still legal there to shoot someone wearing a New York Yankees hat. But stunts like these are why voters are fleeing Boston like men when Jerry Nadler enters the public restroom. Bostonians have bigger concerns than treating illegals like they're on a Carnival cruise. Concerns like cost of living, crime, jobs, and how to keep a boner while your girl talks dirty with a Boston accent.
Harder.
I'm gonna get letters for that.
Oh, you're wicked good. Harder.
Stop it!
Harder.
Between 2020 and 2024, Dems lost 2.1 million voters, while the GOP gained 2.4. They lost ground in all 30 states that track voter registration. It's because voters see two choices: the party of law and order or violent chaos, of hot actresses or odd men in women's spaces. Seriously, would you rather see Sydney Sweeney or Sydney's weenie? Now, Dems will point to polls that say deportations are unpopular. Of course they are. You're describing them as Gestapo-like kidnappings. If you reported them accurately, they'd be more popular than a bucket of dildos at a WNBA pro shop. Face it, the only poll that matters was on November 5th. You don't have to listen to the brain-dead media and deceptive Dems. They said Kamala was ahead, Trump was Hitler, Biden was as sharp as a chunk of Vermont cheddar. The media never pressed the Dems on the number of illegals in their state. If the left cared, they'd identify the size of the problem first. But for them, open borders was the solution. Pad the census, gain the seats. They filled a bucket, not worrying how much water it could carry. And they tried to top that bucket off before Biden kicked his. Now they're resisting federal law, turning on ICE agents. One illegal even accused ICE of abducting his wife. But turns out she was found dead after he was caught on camera dragging something from his home. And what's the left's reaction? Applauding him for recycling? Tens of thousands of migrant children were lost under Biden and were the bad guy. Hell, they weren't even happy with dealing the worst first. But to arrest one illegal with 15 convictions and 38 arrests, you got to sift through the millions that the Dems let in. But they never cared who the worst were. They conflated them with legals from the beginning. Hence, a mariachi band and not an MS-13 gang. To them, it's all the same. So screw Wu and all these sanctuary saps. Remember, they broke the system. They don't get to tell us how to fix it. When OJ offered to help look for Nicole's killer, we knew better than to accept the help. Which means it's time for
Greg's amazing and utterly helpful and no less sexy analogy. Now with 65% less body hair. Oh, yeah.
You know, a long time ago, I was at this bar, and my lady friend threw up all over the floor. But the bar back had to come over and clean it up. So I pulled out a C note, and I gave it to him. Well, I'll never forget the look on Geraldo's face when he took it. But as he mopped up the mess, me and the drunken broad, we didn't stand over him and say, ooh, I think you missed a spot. Oh, look over there. But that's what's happening here. The Dems threw up all over America with their up policies, and now they stand by and whine while we clean up their mess. No, you don't get a vote here. Trump was voted in, you were voted out. Americans made their decisions, so listening to you is a betrayal to them.
Whoa! Here he is. Welcome to tonight's guest.
She's always rolling in dough, plus she has a lot of money. Host of the Evening Edit on Fox Business, Liz McDonald. You might recognize him as the guy who waves you through the car wash, comedian Jim Florentine. She's got unlimited love for limited gov. New York Times bestselling author and Fox News contributor Kat Jim. And Labor Day is another reminder of all the women he put into labor. New York Times bestselling author, comedian, and former NWA World Champion Tyrus. So much here, Liz. So much here. The mariachi band. If a Republican pulled out a mariachi band, well, it was something having to do with immigration, it would be, we'd be called fascist, Hitlerian, Nazi bigots.
Beyond everything they're being called right now. You know, it's just that ranks up right up there with Jill Biden, you know, calling Latinos breakfast tacos.
Yes.
And remember she mispronounced bodegas as bodegas? I mean, how do you get that one wrong? But I didn't know illegal aliens listen to there's only illegal aliens who listen to only mariachi bands.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't get that. But what the mayor was saying, she's making like federal law is optional. It's not optional. Federal law protects national borders. It's just like, you know, Obama took Arizona to court in 2012 when Arizona was trying to enforce its own state law. It's not optional. So, you know, she can say what she wants and think what she wants. It's coming. ICE just said today they're going to flood Boston with ICE officers to capture bad guys. So that's what's happening.
Yeah. Jim, what do you make of the mayor's kind of description of Boston? I've been there. Did you grow up there?
No.
Oh, you seem
do
like
have that vibe.
Yeah. You look somewhat racist and homicidal. You look like you might have dragged a homeless guy through like off the street and by accident at 4 a.m. and then threw him down to a ravine.
I did that in Jersey, not Boston.
But you go to Boston. It's
Yeah.
a beacon of hope, diversity, and friendship. Is that what it is?
It's the whitest city in the world. That's why, does ICE really need Boston's help? Yeah. You know, the city of Boston help? You'll find the people that you're looking for. There's about 10 of them. You'll find them.
What?
Just walking down the street, you're going to see which ones probably aren't here legally.
People tell me that Boston's the only place where you actually hear, like, the stuff where you're not allowed to say on the TV, like in common conversation. There is like no, I don't know what you call real woke language there.
Yeah, but you can't understand it with their dumb accents. I don't know what they're talking about. But wait, did you see? I watched that full 8-minute video of the mariachi band.
Yeah.
That was so bad, they should be deported. You know what's great? You think they had a tough time booking them? A mariachi band in Boston?
Yeah.
They might have been open for that gig.
Yes. You know what's amazing? I could see them like in Alligator Alcatraz while people are eating. You know how mariachi bands always come behind you? So irritating, Kat. You're like trying to eat and they come right behind you and they're like playing their little thing.
Well, you're supposed to be drunk.
Yes. That's the problem. It's not the mariachi band's problem. It's that you can't see that when you're sober.
Yeah, I don't know. You can. It's okay. It's fine. You know, I look, again, I do think that there's a lot of middle ground between Biden's policies and Trump's policies. I get that for Trump's base, there's no middle ground. For the MAGA base, it's if you're illegal, you have to go. I'm extraordinarily clear on that. But I think that, you know, for some people, that's not the case. Like in the vomiting analogy that you used, I think it's a little different because, first of all, public drunken vomiting is never peaceful. Second of all, I think that some people who have an issue with these policies are just saying, let's say, for example, that there was somebody drunkenly vomiting in a bar.
Yes.
And then there was someone else that was there. Maybe they were there illegally. Maybe they were underage, but they used a fake ID to get in the bar. But they were there like just trying to help, and someone was just pouring bleach on that person. So I think that there are some people who have issues, not with deporting the violent people, but people who are maybe here peacefully and trying to work. But there's a lot of middle ground. And one of the best things about this country is that even when you're not in power, you do have the freedom to criticize the people who are, even when you lose.
That's a good point. But to have a middle ground, you have to have a policy on one end and on the other. I disagree with you. I don't think Biden had a policy. So there is no middle ground when there is no starting point. But I do get your point. Everybody's free to protest. But for a middle ground to exist, you have to go, what is your policy? Theirs was just throw out the gates and Get the mariachi band, Tyrus. Tyrus, you lived in Boston.
Yes, I did. Even at 7 years old, I was like, yo, Ma, we got to get out of here. These guys are wicked stupid. Let's go. But I stayed in love with my teams.
Yeah.
I think we need to look at the bigger picture here.
Yes.
In the grand scheme of things. I think at some point, sometimes, you have to be able to just go look in the mirror and say, this ain't working.
Yeah.
And I think the musical messages of the Democratic Party just aren't working.
Yes, they are.
And it's not, whether it's a mariachi band or a 6-year-old woman who's actually 20, but she looks 60, singing weird verses, we shall overcome, ice, go away, because we can't rhyme anything. They need to have somebody from American Idol just come out and say, I'm sorry, you're not getting the ticket. America's not going to accept you. Like, they need to stop with the singing and the stuff, because we get it why the camera's so close.
Yeah.
We get it. You don't need microphones at these events.
Mm-hmm.
The lady didn't have one, the mariachi band lady. She literally borrowed the speakers because if they pan back, there's nobody there.
Yeah.
Look at the crowd in the back picture there. Like they're not even enjoying the band themselves. Let the music go. The reason why you have an opening act is because you have no message. You have no argument. Only thing, just come out with a sign that says, we don't like Trump, meh. And that's it. Just do that. Because all this extra stuff, the mariachi band, you're just saying all the illegals are from Mexico.
Yeah,
that's not the case.
Yeah.
Right.
I wonder how many people were there, maybe just thinking it was like a street entertainment show, completely unaware they were at a protest.
I guarantee you, at least 20 people thought that there was going to be some kind of Mexican lunch afterwards.
Like, yes, they were going, where's the free burritos?
Where's the tortilla chips?
I would be livid. You got my mouth all ready for some Mexican food?
I want this.
This is it?
I want the street corn.
Yeah, where's Jill Biden? Where's Jill Biden's breakfast tacos?
Yes.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.